Hey, my name is Kim McIntyre, the neurodivergent, and today we're going to be doing some Pilates on a reformer. Now, we're not just talking movement, we are talking healing of my hips, not muscles, not the nerves, but the actual bones of my hips. Now, why did this come up today? This is Trail Guide of the Body, by the way. Why did this come up today? Well, I am using muscle testing to figure out exactly where I would benefit most from healing in relation to the footwork I'm going to do on the reformer. Now, in relation to what I found in the Trail Guide to the Body, I'm using the secret language of your body in relation to healing of the sacrum. Now, instead of just going from the pelvis, we're bringing it down to that triangle bone in between the pelvic bones. So I'll be healing my sacrum today, and you might have felt the little shift right there. So in relation to the sacrum, feelings of being unsupported, carrying unresolved family issues, holding on to childhood anger and resentment, experiencing a lack of confidence and belief in self, feeling uncomfortable in your body and your life, carrying guilt, resentment, and shame, problems with the hips, butt, and spinal curvature. So I will be healing all of that stuff for myself today while I go through the simple footwork on my reformer. So everything that I do in the reformer is about perfection. I want everything perfect. Reformer work, Pilates work for me is not go, 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 go with reckless regard for my alignment, for my structural integrity, internal support structure. Tom Meyer's work. It is focused on things that I'm compensating with. For instance, if I'm doing the leg work and I'm clenching my jaw or holding my breath, that means something in the legs are not working and I'm trying to get something focused. Possibly the legs, possibly the core. It could be a multitude of things. That's why we muscle test. So when I am going through the motions, I'm paying attention to everything from the top of my head to the tips of my toes and the tips of my fingers. Checking in down the alignment of my spine, I'd notice I'm not flexing my abdomen right now. There's no reason to be flexing my abdomen. I'm not working hard. I'm not asking my upper body to be supported, but I am asking my spine to be in alignment. Gentle curvature in the lower back, gentle curvature the other way in the upper back, gentle curvature mimicking the curvature in the lumbar spine in my cervical spine. So that when I go out, say for instance, skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, my body knows how to maintain that alignment in everything that I'm doing so that I can maintain my integrity and prevent injury. So, in relation to the healing of the pelvis, more specifically, the healing of the sacrum, and we're going to be working with feeling unsupported. That's our first one we're working with. So when I work, I ask, when did this feeling of being unsupported begin? And that can be physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. And this was while I was in my mother's uterus, 5 months, 5 months in utero, feeling unsupported. And so when I work with this to heal this, I'm not only healing that moment in time, because it might have only been for a moment when I learned what it felt like and grasped onto that feeling of being unsupported. Any time throughout my lifetime, from that moment, 5 months in utero, all the way till now, I draw a line and I connect any moment in time that I may have felt unsupported, even though maybe I was, but inside I was disconnected from being or allowing myself to be supported. And I connect, disconnect, and heal all those moments in time, all the way until now. So that I may feel supported, so that my sacrum can be healthy, because there are nerves that lead from the sacrum. And if my sacrum is bound up, those nerves will be impinged. And those nerves affect my pelvic floor, my legs, my body. And I feel, wow, I feel like I need to increase the weight, or the resistance, because we don't use weight with these, we use springs for resistance. So let's see, carrying unresolved family issues that does not need to be worked with at this moment, holding on to childhood anger that has been resolved, resentment, experiencing lack of confidence and belief in myself. And that is generational on mother's side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 generations of lack of confidence on my mother's side. So this is a generational thing. This is deep within my DNA, my genes. And so I'm going into my DNA and 8 generations on my mother's side to heal that lack of confidence from the sacrum. And any place else in my body that wants to come out, by all means. We're not just working the sacrum, but our intention today is the sacrum in relation to the footwork that we're doing on the reformer. Now, the reason I'm using the reformer is because it helps me maintain perfect alignment, but also I can lower and increase the resistance that I use. We're going to jump to 5 generations. And sometimes when this energy comes out, it's uncomfortable. It can hurt at times, which is why it's easier to not deal with it. But unfortunately, when we don't deal with it, it causes more problems in the future. You can imagine being a man with sacral issues might lead to prostate issues, right? Root chakra issues, testicle issues, issues in the hips. And I do not want issues. I want strength, stability, support, and faith and confidence within myself. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Very good. Now realize I do a lot of work on myself. So that's why this is looks so easy to do. When we work together, it may take a bit longer depending on what you do for yourself. Feeling uncomfortable in your body and life, guilt, resentment, shame, hips, buttocks, spinal curvature. Okay, so according to this, we're done in relation to 2-footed work. Now, we're going to do some 1-footed work, very simply, in dead bug, and we're going to see if more stuff comes up. It does in relation to the hips. We're now going to transfer over to the hips. Now remember, I can tune into a lot of stuff, but sometimes when somebody else has done different work that really connects to what is happening, well, why not use their work? Okay, so in relation to hips, family problems, disagreements, feeling used, unappreciated, angry, betrayed, deceived, let down, shot down, and alienated. That one's a big one for me, and I'm actually feeling, especially on the right side, that really bound up. And that is in utero, 8 months in utero. There we go. Beautiful. This is insane. I love this. And I love how quickly I can feel the transitions, right? Now, I could do this just sitting, right? But I may not get the amount of benefit that I'm getting right now, because when we facilitate movement in the work, when we're healing, movement creates deeper things that come to the surface even faster. Hips. Experiencing strain, frustration, guilt, lack of support, too much responsibility, feeling acknowledged, taken advantage of, manipulated. Left, right. Let's see if anything comes up on this side. I do have a little strain in the knee. And if you're worried, so I'm release some worry from the left knee. Beautiful. Love it. Hips, sacrum. And you'll notice when I am moving, my hips do not rotate. I'm hinging only at the ball of the femur or the head of the femur here in the sacrum. My spinal alignment stays perfect. Very gentle curve everywhere. My breathing is effortless. I do not inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. I'm just breathing because I'm not lifting or moving a ton of weight or resistance. I'm simply moving. And if we can train ourselves to simply move, right, instead of always being under strain, there's no reason for that. So find your breath, slow down your breathing, acknowledge the imbalance within yourself. So in relation to the footwork, I'm going to put some more resistance on it, and then I'm going to come back to trail guide to the body, do some muscle testing, see what comes up, where I would benefit from working. Okay. So let's see, sacrum, coccyx. So we are actually going to go to the coccyx. The muscle test brought me back to the exact same page. That's why I love it. I assumed I was done, but there is more to be resolved. I'm going to go with 3 red springs. Oops. And then we'll bring my book here, Secret Language of the Body, to the coccyx. Oh, wait, that's under spine. There we go. Okay, so in relation to the coccyx, feeling unbalanced, focused on how life is unfair and you can't get what you want. Feeling unbalanced, focused on how life is unfair. Blaming others and life circumstances for your challenges, mistakes, and failures. So this is genetic predisposition to do this on father's side, 4 generations. Hmm. Because because we don't release all blame to everyone else, even blame for ourselves. Because unless somebody has done something malicious to us, they are only living their life. Therefore, I am living my life and I'm figuring out what I can do to facilitate my life to be effortless, fluid, functional, and heal my coccyx. This is freaking awesome. Oh, wonderful. Good. Coccyx. Easily depressed, disappointed, disillusioned. Thought I had dealt with that, but apparently more is coming to the surface. So we're good. So 6 years old. And remember, when we get that moment in time, we're healing not only that moment, but everything in relation to what comes up in that moment. You don't necessarily need to know. But if an idea comes up, by all means, roll with the idea. But most importantly, feel the feelings of being easily depressed, disillusioned, giving yourself permission to release. And by all means, if you need to, tap while you do this. And you don't need a reformer. You can do this without a reformer, without expensive equipment. Put yourself in a position, move, see what comes up. Muscle test. Ask your energy, where am I restricted? What is preventing me from being absolutely awesome in my life? Depressed, easily betrayed or cheated, frequently sabotaging yourself, plunging into negativity and fear. Life seems monotonous and repetitive. Nothing much seems to change. Cool. I am done. And I don't know if you can tell, but 3 red springs and my knee is locked in. My knee is locked in. My hip just feels like it's been lubricated. My spine is perfect. There's no movement in the spine. And remember, I'm not flexing my abdominal wall right now. There's no reason to at all. There's no reason to be here. Right? This is an effortless movement. Why should we bear down when things are effortless? Why should we be engaging the pelvic floor? No. If your internal support structure is working for you, your internal core is part of the internal support structure. If your pelvic floor needs to turn on, it will. If it doesn't know how, you're gonna need some work. And now you know where to turn. We can figure out why that pelvic floor isn't working because, as you can tell in here, it's not always a physical thing, is it? Physical, mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual. We address all of those in every single session, depending on what your energy will allow us to work with. So when you book your session, make sure you're doing your homework. Tap every single day. You don't know what to tap about? Shut your mouth and breathe. Teach yourself how to breathe through your nose. It's an amazing experience. If you know what you want to tap about, start talking about it. Give yourself permission to release the fears, the angers, the worries, resentments, and jealousies and griefs, and all that gibberish that's preventing you from being the person that you were meant to be instead of who you've had to become because of all your experiences and maybe even experiences that you didn't know about. So I hope that helps you today. Check out my website, theneurodivergent.net, and I look forward to helping you be even better in the future. Hey, by the way, make sure you subscribe. This is a good place to be.